Hello out there and welcome in. I'm Julie and welcome to part 6 of the Great Deck Declutter. There will be a part 7. I am really on a roll, which is kind of wild that I am I'm just purging, like completely purging my collection. I'm down to I think about 112 right now, um, from over 200. So I'm actually really proud of myself, and I want these decks to go to homes that are going to use them. I already have had people, I have about 20 of them that have already been claimed. And those people are even going to get a little extra surprise in there when they get their packages. Hoping to ship them out at the beginning of next week. If not, then the week after Thanksgiving. But I am also decluttering my crystal collection, and I do not use crystals for healing purposes. I love them from a geological standpoint, and I just think they're these beautiful little individual pieces of art from the earth. But I too, I have also amassed quite a collection of those, and I need to declutter those as well. So I think ultimately, when all is said and done, there will be an eBay page filled with crystals and tarot decks. But anyway, I digress. Let's just get on with this because there's more decks to go through. Okay, so we're going to start with the Mythical Dream Tarot. This is the box. It's a pretty large box. I already opened it because it's annoying to open. Big giant book. I haven't read this. I haven't read with this deck in years, and even then, I only did a few times. If I remember correctly, this is supposed to be a very like intuitive deck. It follows, the tarot, the traditional tarot, but I think it was supposed to be used more as like sort of an intuitive kind of deck. So it's fine. It just wasn't my personal favorite. I think it's awesome that there's so many decks out there that we can all use. And there's something for everybody, and that's just the most amazing thing. For me, this didn't really trigger anything within me personally. I was still reading with reversals when I was reading with this. That's how long it's been. My goodness, I don't read with reversals anymore. I really don't have much to say about this, unfortunately. It's been so long. That is a cool card, though, isn't it? It's been so long since I've used it that I don't remember what it felt like to read with it. I think it was okay for me. Obviously, it wasn't something I was in love with. It's like an acquaintance deck. You kind of you've met each other a couple times, and you may never see each other ever again. But yeah, I'm showing this to you because I'm deck decluttering and I'm getting rid of it because it's not my cup of tea at all, and I don't have much to say on it. So that's the Mystical Dream Tarot. Life Guidance from the Depth of Our Unconscious by Janet Piedelato. I don't know. I mean, it's cool. Like, okay, here's the thing with this. I think if you really are somebody who is an intuitive reader and loves tarot but doesn't necessarily follow the system of tarot or study tarot, this is an excellent deck. Even though I'm really just starting to study tarot, back when I had first started reading, I was really interested in the symbolism and alchemy and like why they were included in the deck, right? I used my intuition heavily when I would do readings, even when I was reading with a spread. But I know there's some people who love tarot for the meanings in the cards, but not necessarily the system. So if you're one of those people who likes tarot without the traditional system of tarot, this is a wonderful deck. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. Moving on, Messages from the Spirit of Nature Oracle by Dr. Stephen D. Farmer. Another one I don't have much to say on. It's actually quite embarrassing that I don't have much to say about some of these decks. They've really never been used. I've looked through them and then I kind of put them away because I favor other decks over these. And I have learned a very big lesson. But they're really pretty. As a, a photographer, I really like the photographs. I like the enhancement aren't too awful. Sometimes, when people enhance photographs, it's a little over the top, and these aren't too bad. I mean, well, I should say it's pretty saturated. But anyway, we're not talking about photography right now. I love that it's photographs, and usually I'm not into photograph decks with photographs on them, but something about this kind of called to me. I just don't find myself really using Oracle decks anymore in my practice. And I do have some that I use. I have the Compodium of Constellations. I have the Poesis. I think that's how you say it, Oracle. I have my Meditations from the Light Oracle deck. I have my Urban Crow. And these are ones that I just keep coming back to time and time again. And I think I'm going to really stop buying Oracle decks. I'm not using them. I'm using tarot. And I have the Samira May tarot deck, which I have been using recently, has an Oracle deck during my readings because it's like the number in the suit, which leaves more leaves itself open for more interpretation. But yeah, I'm just not using Oracle cards that much. These cards are a really nice matte finish. It's a really nice weight paper, and they're really beautiful. And I want them to go to a home where somebody's going to use them and not just sit in my house collecting dust. Again, unfortunately, I don't have much to tell you about them because I haven't really used them. But it's a beautiful deck, in my opinion. So, all right. Okay, the Symbolic Tarot by Elisa Seitzinger. I actually have used this deck a few times, and I do like it, but it's just not, I haven't used it in a very, very long time. So again, I'd like it to go to a home where it's being used. It's a Lo Scarabeo deck. And it's really pretty. It is really pretty. Little bit of signs of use on it. It's not too bad. They're a matte finish deck. These are the backs. I think it's a really cool deck personally. I really like it. Again, this is another one I used a long time ago. I'm finding decks like in the dark recesses of my basement that haven't been touched in a very, very long time. So when I read with it, I enjoyed reading with it, but I don't recall much more beyond that. But it's black and white. The gold is, it looks like it's gold leaf or metallic leaf on a matte finish card. And I do like how these feel in my hand. It's a nice thick card. I did use this often. I shouldn't say often. I use this quite a bit, and it is showing a little bit of the signs of wear. So I'm not sure how well this will wear. I do know that most of my decks that have this type of finish do tend to peel a little bit faster than my my coated cards. And it's so pretty. It really is. And I like the illustrations. I like the weirdness. Like, I love this card, the Six of Swords. The moon. La luna. All right. So this is the Symbolic Tarot, and it's leaving simply because it's another deck that I am not using anymore, and I most likely will not use. I found it, so that to me means I haven't really been thinking about it. Usually if I think about a card or a deck, I go downstairs, I go to my bins, I pull it out and I use it. I forgot about this one. So that to me means that as much as I love the art and as much as I tell myself, well, maybe I'll use it in the future, the reality is I probably won't. We're friends. We hung out and we had a good time, and now it's time to part. So that is the Symbolic Soul Tarot. Here we have the Tea Leaf Fortune cards by Ray Hepburn, illustrated by Shauna Alexander. US Game System deck includes 200 round cards and a 98-page guidebook. It also comes with this lovely little bag for you to throw all of your cards in. Now, when I got this, I don't do fortune telling necessarily. So there's a lot of cards, and some of the cards, and they're a nice quality, I will say that, but some of the cards were a little too predictive for me. Like Jug, lighthearted, carefree time. I like that. Pale, time to get out of a situation. So some of these can be used in a way that's very much guidance, or as an oracle card in my practice, but some of them were very definitive, and I didn't like that. Also, I'm not really into the divinatory practices at the moment, and I'm just not doing, fortune telling has never really been my thing. Making predictions has never been my thing. I like to, when I read for people, kind of try to give them guidance and help in the now and the present, in order to help them kind of, bring about their future and changes in their life. And that's how I like to read. And these just, I'm not using them. I got them and I just didn't use them. And they're fun. They're fun. Like when you put them in the bag and like you pull one, it's kind of fun. But I what am I going to say? I'm not using them. Like I can just keep repeating myself in the same thing over and over again. And it's kind of embarrassing how wasteful I've been with purchasing things that I'm not using. A couple of my decks have been gifted, and I either didn't resonate with them, or I use them and my time with them is over, or they're ones that I'm keeping in my collection. But some of them I just purchased kind of on a whim, on an impulse, and I don't want to do that anymore. And what I'm actually finding really interesting is the more I'm actually studying tarot, the more I'm becoming conscious and aware of the things that I'm doing unconsciously. And it's kind of wild how it happens. I mean, I guess it's not wild. I understand why it's happening. That's sort of the purpose. But it's happening, and I'm just trying to be more conscientious in my life overall, and not buy things on impulse like the tea leaf fortune cards. And I've seen people use these and do beautiful things with them in their practice. It's just, again, it's not part of my practice. So I'm letting it go. All right, this is Pixies Whisper Tarot by Lorien Music. I believe this is the same person who did the Alice in Tarotland, which is a deck I have and I really like. But this is actually a really fun deck. Again, I'm not using it, but it's such a fun deck. It's so fun how she did this. They are a linen finish cardstock. They're a little on the plasticky side, but they're going to wear really well. It's so fun. It feels like it was a tarot deck that was taken apart and then put back together with other tarot decks. I don't know. I kind of like it. I'm not using it, so it has to go because I have a million other decks that I'm going to use before I use this. Isn't it fun? It's really fun. If you're looking, I believe anyone who collects decks, we need a well-rounded collection. So if you're in the market for a fun deck, right? We need to have some decks that have some levity and some lightness and some sunshine in them. If you're looking for one of those decks, this could be a good one to add to your collection for sure. The Pixies Whisper. So yeah, not much to say. It's Rider-Waite-Smith, but let's take a minute to appreciate these backs. Like, how fun are these backs, right? I wish everybody would do their backs like in an eclectic style like this. I love that. Isn't that fun? That's so fun. Like, I almost want to keep it just for the backs, but I'm not going to. How fun is that? So this is a fun, happy little deck by Lorraine Music. Okay. The Oracle of Mystical Moments by Katrine Wellstein. I really love this deck, but don't use it. I do use the Tarot of Mystical Moments, which is one of my favorite decks. It's in my permanent collection. This one I do not use, but it's just as beautiful. I don't use it. I don't know why I don't use it. But how incredible. I think I did just get this because I absolutely adore the artwork on this. It's just gorgeous. Maybe I've used this a couple of times. And if you have the Tarot of Mystical Moments, this is going to be an Oracle deck that is going to work seamlessly and beautifully and perfectly with your tarot deck, because it's, it's the same person. The art is absolutely stunning. So well done. Quirky, fun, nice cardstock. It has a nice coating on it. It's going to last a long time. Beautiful, beautiful deck. And I love these. Just not enough to keep them. For the same reasons I've been talking about in the last 6 videos. No rain today. Isn't it pretty? So, yeah, this is the Oracle of Mystical Moments. Interestingly, let me hold on. Where is it? I just had it. Where is my Tarot of Mystical Moments? I don't know where it is, but I wanted to show you. I actually like the cardstock on these cards better than I do the Tarot of Mystical Moments. It doesn't have the gilding, and it's not glossy. The Tarot of Mystical Moments is like super glossy, and it's got this really sharp gilding on the edges, and it's not fun to shuffle. And I don't like the glossiness, but I love the finish on this. It's very different. It's more, I'd call it a satin finish, and I feel like these are going to wear pretty well. So that is the Oracle of Mystical Moments. And now we shall move on. The double major tarot deck. I don't know why I have this. I thought it was a really interesting concept, and so I purchased it, but I haven't actually used it. And it is a very interesting concept. It's all the majors and all the court cards with like the positive and the negative aspects of that card as individual cards. So it's really interesting. But again, it's another one I just didn't use. So it's got the gilding on the side. It is glossy. So here's the Queen of Wands as we would know her, but here she is in a different light, right? So here she feels more passive. Here she feels more like the active part of her. Here we have the Lovers in the way we know them. And then here they are getting together with the choice being made. Here we have the Chariot, and here we have the Chariot not going anywhere. So it's an interesting concept. I just didn't have a reason to use them, really. What I find interesting about this Justice, though, is I have decks where this is the Justice that's represented. And I find that interesting. the High Priestess and the High Priestess looking behind the veil. You know, and I guess in a way, this could be a good study deck, studying the cards, studying the different aspects of it. What do these differences mean to you? How can it help you understand the major arcana in a different way? So on and so forth. But another one I just did not use. Nope, nope, nope. I like this one though. I do like that. They have freed themselves from the toxic cycles that inhibit their growth. So yeah, it's fun. I do think this could be a fun deck to study with. Especially if you're newer to tarot. This could be a fun deck to study and work with. If you're learning, especially trying to learn the major arcana. I could see that. So here he is down. Here's this guy trying to hold the tower together. So that's this deck. Yeah, again, another one I don't have much to say about. I'm sorry, I had coffee before I decided to make this video, and I feel like it's just kind of making me focused and streamline things instead of meander off of the path in the way that I normally do, which I suppose is a good thing, right? More clear and concise. At least I feel in my head I'm being more clear and concise. As a chronic oversharer, I will share this. Here in the US, ADHD medicine is extremely on back order. And because I have celiac disease, I can only take certain ones, and it is just impossible to find. So coffee does the same thing. So if anybody is dealing with a shortage of Ritalin or their medicines for their ADHD, drink some coffee or Nespresso if you can. I'm finding it to be very helpful. But anyway, I'm sorry, I just totally overshared, but hopefully that helps someone. Okay, I'm going to stop talking. I was not going to originally get rid of this deck. I really like this Oracle deck. But I'm not using it. I am not using Oracle decks anymore. I'm just not. I wish I was, because I love Oracle decks. Just not using them anymore. I just love the imagery on this deck. I love the collage style. I think it works really well. It is a deck that can allow you to really utilize your intuition. You can go off the keyword, but you know, the images can really, really spark your intuition and help you kind of go on this like deep path throughout the cards and what you're reading, whether it's for yourself or others. It's a really great card. A great deck. That's a great card. I've always loved this card. But it's a really great deck. And I just think it's beautiful personally. And again, I'm not that into collage styles, but this is one collage style that I really, really do love. Actually, now that I'm looking at this, I may not, you know what, I may put this away. I'll show it to you. But this one is not going to be leaving my collection. I'm going to keep this for a little bit longer, I think. I don't want to get rid of it yet now that I'm looking at it. I just haven't looked at it in a really long time, but I adore this deck. So it's staying. I apologize. It's staying for now. I have a box of maybes too. So if I find that in the next 6 months to a year, it's not being used, I'll put it in the maybe box. But I can probably work this into my own personal practice, my daily journaling. So I think that's what I'm going to do, because I do love this deck. I really, really do. Isn't it beautiful? I've had this for a little while now. I think I got this like shortly after it came out, if I recall correctly. There's so many decks, I don't know. And this is Share. This is Share. I love that this is Share. I'm pretty sure that's Share. I think that's Share. But I love that it looks like Share. So pretty. this is actually inspiring and makes me want to kind of, you know, I have years and years and years of photographs, and this sort of makes me want to go through them all and like put together my own oracle deck, with all the time that I have and studying I want to do and painting I want to do, right? But yeah, so this is the Begin Tarot. This is not leaving my collection. It's staying with me. Okay, sorry about that. All right, the Queen of the Moon Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. I love this oracle deck, but I'm not using it anymore. This is one of those decks that I spent a lot of time with. I did a lot of work with it. It was a wonderful deck for me when I was using it, but my time with it has come to a close. But I really do love this deck. Don't like the glossiness on it, but I love the cards. I have used this deck quite a bit, and you can see like they're wearing really, really well. And I have used this deck quite often. So this is just a great deck. I think it's beautiful. I like Stacey DeMarco's decks. I have one that will be in the next video as well that I am letting go of. Isn't that beautiful? So yes, unfortunately our time has come to a close, but I know somebody else will love to use this. Nope. So yeah, I have nothing else to say. I am quiet today. Am I quiet today? I don't know. I'm overthinking at this point. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking to myself in my head again. Okay, I'm just gonna just one more deck to get through with this video. I apologize again. I'm weird. Deal with it. And okay. Last but not least, for video number 6, the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot Deck by Matt Hughes. The reason I am getting rid of this is 1, I haven't used it in forever, but 2, I have the Luna edition, and I like the Luna edition better, personally. But this is a beautiful deck. I love the size of the cards. They're a little chunky, like in my hand, they're a little big, slightly oversized. They have this beautiful gold. This is how long ago I used it. It's also all in reverse. Gold foiling around them. I mean, they're beautiful, beautiful cards. They have the artist. I think there's 2 extra cards in this. I think it's the well and the artist, if I'm correct. But they're really beautiful. The illustrations are really beautiful. Reads along with the Rider-Waite-Smith. Look at that card. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? This is just, this is gorgeous. This is almost like, this is the sun, and then the Luna is the moon, right? Because Luna means moon. Oh my gosh. Anyway, here's Temperance. Beautiful card. Here's the moon, another beautiful card. It really is, it's a beautiful deck. But the Luna edition's a little more diverse. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, this is a really gorgeous deck. And I have gotten use out of this a long time ago, earlier on in my tarot days. Oh, there's the well. This is the other extra card in here. High Priestess. She reminds me of, I don't know if any of you have seen the show Penny Dreadful, but she kind of reminds me of the lead character. I forget her name in the show. That's what she reminds me of from Penny Dreadful. It was a really good show. You guys are looking to watch something. I loved it. Oh, whoops, it's the Hangman. El Diablo. Yeah, but it's a very pretty deck. I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen this deck a million times, so I'm not going to take too long with it. But yeah, this is part 6. Tomorrow comes part 7, and then I think I may be done with the deck decluttering videos for now. Get these out of my house, start an eBay for all the ones that have not found homes yet, and keep on with this decluttering of my house and my life. I've accumulated and collected so much stuff. My kids are older. There's still all their toys that they don't use anymore. I just want an open, clean house, and I have object permanence. Like if I can't see it, I forget that it exists. So I keep everything like out, nothing's stored, because if I put it away, I forget I have it, and then I buy more when I don't need it. It's really bad. So I just want to declutter and like have spaces for everything so that I know where things are and it doesn't have to sit out. Like I feel so much better when my house is clean and open and decluttered. And this whole process of decluttering my tarot decks is really just, it's cathartic in a way, and it feels good, and I'm feeling lighter. So I just want to continue on with it. Anyway, enough with that. I'm sorry for my weirdness today. But I will catch you guys next time, and one more decluttering video to go. Cheers, have a great weekend.